Hello, today we're going to talk about cultural intelligence and how we can use it to help us build cohesive teams. For the purposes of this video, we're going to define culture as the way in which we think, behave, or work, that way that exists in a business or any organization that we may engage in. Cultural intelligence considers how well we interact with people who are from cultures that are different from our own culture. Of course, successful organizations hire people who may be of different ages, people who have different beliefs, people who come from different regions, different countries, or people who practice different religions. In today's competitive and global corporate environment, this is very normal. At work, we are likely to have people on our work teams who are different from us. Building successful, cohesive teams often depends on our ability to establish a team environment where people who are different are able to work together effectively. To help us understand this concept of cultural intelligence, we are going to consider some aspects that are generally accepted in the academic world. The four main aspects of cultural intelligence are cognition, metacognition, motivation, and behavior. Now let's take a look at each of these aspects individually. First, cognition. Imagine for a moment that you are part of a team and you are meeting your new team members for the first time. Now we're going to pose 3 questions to ourselves, and when you answer these questions, please be as honest as possible. Of course, this is not about passing judgment on ourselves. This is about growth, development, and experimental thought. All right, first question. Am I comfortable working with people who are different from me? Second question. When I meet people who are different from me, what thoughts come to mind? And finally, third question. Do I make snap decisions about teammates based on my expectations and current understanding of their culture? Now, you may want to pause this video and rewind even, and just take a moment to think about each of these 3 questions and just see what thoughts come to mind. In the previous slide, we posed questions to ourselves to think about. We used our own thought processes to answer those questions. Now, let us take a moment to think about the way in which we think. We are actually going to think about thinking, or think about the way in which we process thoughts. This is the concept of metacognition. Whatever our answers were to the questions in the previous slide, we may decide to reflect on the way we process thoughts and assess how well our thought processes are serving us. Is the way we think helping us or holding us back? Does our thought process produce desired results? Engaging in this type of assessment may prompt us to adjust the way in which we process thoughts. Our attitude toward people who are different from us is highly influenced by the way we think. When we want to learn more about others, we will learn more about others. If we think we have everything figured out, if we think we know all we need to know about people who are different from us, then we may not be very motivated to raise our level of cultural intelligence. Once I was in a coaching session with a manager who complained about her subordinates' level of competency, and she used this complaint to justify her style of management, which was a very micromanaging style. The manager commented, "I have to watch everything they do, or they'll just mess everything up." I wondered, and I asked her to think about whether her own thought process and expectations of failure were somehow contributing to the problem she was seeing with her subordinates. She seemed motivated to find fault, and her thinking regarding subordinates was very definite, and it wasn't too positive. Sometimes people will say things or behave in ways that they later wish they hadn't. Other times, people act in ways that produce results that are much greater than even they could have anticipated. Our behavior is influenced by the way we think. If we want to behave in ways that indicate we have a high level of cultural intelligence, we need to consider the way we think about others. Because the way we think about others will play out in the way we behave around others who are different from us. Trying to behave in ways that are truly different from the way we actually think could and may most likely come across as fake or phony or manufactured, and we don't want that. If our desire is to continually raise our level of cultural intelligence. And if that desire is genuine, then we will behave in ways that demonstrate this desire. Our client-facing time may be very short, so whatever we do, we must make sure that we do it well. Giving our best effort at every opportunity we have to demonstrate our skills is very important because there's a lot of competition out there. People will notice our effort and people talk. References that we request, of course, are high value. But when people speak well of us when we are not around, or when they have not been asked to speak well of us, this may be of even higher value. Word of mouth recommendation is, of course, very powerful. Thanks for joining us, and hope to see you in the next class.